Okay, we're ready to actually build the game, at least a first simple version of it, and we'll start out as we're going to do for almost everything. We'll have this 4-line deal here. So copy it, type it in, whatever, stop the video if you want, but get it down here. And then I'm going to ask you to make a change because we're not going to use me, so to speak. We're going to have chests there. Eventually there'll be more than one, but let's just call it TC, and that will be our treasure chest. Okay, so we're going to call that the name of that turtle. I don't know what this other few letters were. And now the thing we need to do is, the first thing we're going to do is place the chest somewhere. Now, what I think we want to do is we really want to put them in a random place. So now let's actually import. We can do it up here. Let's import the random thing. And we're going to import a little differently. You say from random import randint. That's an integer. Now, the difference of doing this is when we imported turtle as T, we got everything that turtle has, only we just named it T. So that was a proxy for the turtle. And then for game setup, we just imported everything there, which was actually an action to draw that background. But from random, there's all kinds of stuff in there, and the only thing we want is randint. So just to be nice, just from this, we import randint, so they allow that. So now we have randint. So let's use that to put the turtle. So what we can do is let's go up here and we'll do TC. Let's get the pen up. No, let's not right now. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we need to let's make it a shape. And instead of that little pointer, let's do it. How about square? There's only 7 shapes that they have on there, and or you can actually put a file, and we'll actually have one of the chest, which you saw before. Okay, so then all we really need to do is to do tc dot go to, and now what's going to be the x coordinate? Well, it's going to be randint, and remember this window is 300 by 400, so it's 400. I'm sorry, it's twice that. It's 800 by 600. It's a 3 by 4 setup, very similar to the window you had in Scratch. So we'll just do this, and let's go say minus 350 to 350. So anywhere there, and that's just the x coordinate. Now we need y, and actually I'm going to cheat a little bit and just copy this, put it here, and then change the 3, because this y isn't that high, so let's just make that 250. So somewhere in there, and let's just run that and see what we get. Now we have to name it, so let's call this sonar 02. .py. Now you got to put the py there. You don't when you import it, and it's going to save in the mu code, which is as good a place as any. And now it should run, but it said it's syntax error. Okay, I'm almost glad this happened because this actually says end of file error while parsing. It usually gives you an error here, but notice what's wrong is I didn't have a parentheses. See, the parentheses don't match. I need one here. So here we go. It's easy to do. But if you see an error that doesn't make sense, you probably missed a parenthesis on the previous line. So we run it again. And we get our nice background coming up. And we then put this in a random place. And that's just where it happened to be. And in fact, let's run it again just to show you where it could be. Now, do we really want that line there? We could keep it, but it's so easy to get rid of it. So let's just up here say tc dot pen up. And now when we run it, what do we get? It will go to a random place, but you won't see the line. You'll see it move, but you won't see the line. Okay, so this is what's happening here. Okay, now what we need to do is we need a couple of things. The next thing we really need to do is to be able to use the set that sonar. That's what. So we need another turtle, and let's call it S, just for sonar. S equals T dot turtle, and that's fine. So we now have the turtle. So what are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to set it, but we want to set it when we on a click. So now we got to go through that on click thing, and let's do window dot on click. And then we need the name of a function. And let's call it set sonar. So we know what it's doing. And that's it. It can't have any parameters. Sorry, that has to be a parenthesis. So we need to build that function. And we'll call it def set sonar. Now, and its parameters can only be two things, x and y. And don't forget the colon. And there we are. We're already spaced in, ready to do what we have to do. The first thing we're going to do is, well, we know this will work because we've tried this. But we can test it if you want and put a print in here, and that's fine. But I know it will work. So what we need to do is to take this turtle, which we've made, and go to XY. So that means that turtle will in fact go to XY. Well, let's see if that works. There's our turtle. So if I put a sonar and click here, the sonar turtle in fact went here. Let's do it again. We can do it again. We can do it here. We can do it here. We can do it here. In other words, it just keeps going on forever, basically. So we know that works. So now we need to then do some things, because we'd certainly like to know how far it is from the treasure. So tell you what, let's stop this video and we'll continue with the next one. But make sure you have this. And remember, we've got our standard setup. We changed the me to TC. So we put our chest at a random place, and we set it up as a square. It's black because that's the default. We did the on click, and we have the set sonar here. So make sure you understand this and that it makes sense. And we'll then go to the next video.